Hello everyone, thanks for tuning into the 6th instalment of the Christmas Countdown for 2023. So here we go again, time to bring you more Christmas data, and we're up to update number 6 now for Christmas, so I shall get on with your 6th Christmas update in a moment. The updates get more frequent now. Whoa, I don't know. I'll get on with that. I'm so sorry, but I'll get on with that in a sec. It's been a very busy day at Gasworthy's today. We started off with 6 UK weather forecast with really shabby Friday and a 10 of boarding there as well. I'm going to be live at 10:30, so we'll be live in a couple of hours with your Friday night pub run live. Please like, share and subscribe on all of JPO's content and streams and whatnot. And thank you so very much, everybody, for doing that. Thanks to Richard for our incredible 6th Christmas update, well, not 6th Christmas update, but our Christmas update gift. Thank you so much, Rich. Our amazing gift. I love it. Real classic, my friend. One of the best you've done, I think. Thank you so much. Okay, let's move over to Metacella once again. So we're going to be having a look at the CFSB2 12Z run once more. This was generated midday yesterday on the 16th of November. Always using the same run, and then we can make a direct comparison back each time. So the storyline so far is that we're looking for a trend, so it's too early to say what weather we'll be doing exactly on the day of Christmas Day. Much too early for that. So just going to try and find the trend within the long-range extended CFSB2 vols. Though we haven't had a trend so far, the updates up to now have been very individual. So we are still waiting to try and find a trend within the model. So let's do that. Let's do that then. Starting on the 2nd of December. So once again, we're looking at sort of the early to mid to late December to early January period, around the period of Christmas. Here we go then. We're starting off on 2nd of December. High pressure dominating over the country. And bringing the air off the continent. So probably quite chilly actually there. Probably quite a chilly start to December with some overnight frost and fog. That high pressure starts to sink away to the south and southwest, allowing in more of a northwesterly flow as we go through the first week of December, but still an anticyclonic signal really through the first week. So much of the first week should be mainly dry, often certainly the south anyway. As I was saying about high pressure, probably quite cold, will turn a little bit milder up in the north for a while. Then the high pressures come towards the end of the first week of December, sat over the top of the country, so continuing to bring lots of dry weather. Now the high pressure is breaking down into the second week of the month with a ridge building down from the north. So this, there is weather system pushing through, that brings about breaks of rain with it, but there's still a lot of dry weather there as we go into the second week of December. By the 10th of December, though, it looks like that high pressure is slipping away to the south, and the lower pressure is really starting to develop out of the Atlantic. So I reckon it's going to go unsettled. Let's have a look. So as we go on through the second week of December, we're turning wet and windy here with a strong westerly flow. So after a dry first week to the month, we get a wet and windy second week, with low pressure bringing lots of unsettled dish with it. Now, by the middle of December, we find high pressure building to our south, low pressures out to the north and west, and withdrawing up southwest winds. So mid-December turns very mild, but also is quite wet with further low pressure in the Atlantic. Not much different from a cold perspective up to this point. Now, running towards Christmas, getting close to Christmas, 18th December, higher pressure is now starting to build to the north. Is that going to start to turn colder for Christmas? Let's see. So this is quite interesting. This is 18th, 19th December. High pressure going to Scandinavia, and winds are turning into the east. So we've got a Scandinavian high here as we're running up towards Christmas, becoming colder from the east. The real cold is over across the eastern parts of Europe. We've got to maintain that Scandinavian high and keep the wind in from the east for a few days to get that bitter cold air from eastern Europe out into west. However, this is chillier with the wind coming in from off the continent, so there would be overnight frost and fog and whatnot. Now, I don't think that high pressure is going to pull the real cold air in for Christmas. It looks like it's slipping away. So very, very cold, for eastern, southeast parts of Europe. Balkans would be frozen up into Italy as well. Probably snow for Greece too, as we're running up towards Christmas. So let's get to Christmas itself. And yeah, the high pressure is collapsing. So we have a go there at turning very cold just before Christmas with the Scandinavian high, but the Atlantic too powerful. And so as we get to the eve of Christmas Eve, we've got deep low pressure in the Atlantic breaking down that Scandinavian high, turning wet and windy there. So this is Christmas Eve, looking very stormy. Wow, 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 look at that. So that'll be a real Christmas Eve storm, bringing severe gales to the north of the country. Obviously very wet and windy with that as well, but the main storyline with that is the very, very, very strong wind that we have there. So that's a Christmas Eve storm. Oh dear, right, Christmas Day is looking showery, just showery really. That's a showery westerly flow. Not overly cold, could be cold enough for shower, be a little bit wintry maybe over Scottish mountains and Pennines, etc. But really that's a relatively mild Atlantic westerly wind. So that'll bring sunshine and showers, and some of them could be quite heavy, I suppose. And then on into Boxing Day, there's another area of low pressure then moving in from Arctic Atlantic. So Boxing Day turning wet and windy, turning wet, especially for England and Wales with that area of low pressure. Meanwhile, the north stays showery. So we've got a stormy Christmas Eve, a showery Christmas Day, and then a wet, for the south anyway, Boxing Day on this 6th Christmas update. The low pressures keep coming then as we head on beyond Christmas. So we're up to 28th of December between Christmas and New Year, and still in this Atlantic westerly flow, so further wet and windy weather to come then. Heading towards the new year, this is how things are looking. So again, high pressure is centred around France, Spain and Portugal then. Low pressure out to the northwest, winds coming up from southwesterly direction for New Year's Eve. So looking very mild on New Year's Eve. Maybe dry down the south a little bit more. Settle both further north. That's New Year's Day. Again, the high pressure is sort of centred over France, Spain, Portugal. Low pressure out in the Atlantic. Winds coming in from a west or southwesterly direction. So very, very mild for the new year. Mostly dry in the south, some rain up in the north. Let's go into the early part of January. So high pressure beginning to pull out into the Atlantic again. A little bit more of a northwesterly flow starting to break through. So turning a little bit colder here through the first week of January. Bit of a cold snap. Not going to last though. A couple of days and then the winds are back into the west again. Another cold snap, maybe a little bit more pronounced over to the second week of January as low pressure diving southwards into the continent. A little bit of a stronger ridge of the Atlantic. So into January, into the new year, things start to turn colder here with winds going into the north and into the northeast. But a little bit of a trail within these Christmas updates. Not to be overly cold around Christmas, but to be cold into the new year, possibly. So that's the 10th of January. We're in a proper east-northeast event. That will probably bring in snow showers, particularly to southern and eastern parts of the country, high pressure out to the north and west. So rather wintry actually as we get into the beginning of January. And then that turns into sort of an east-northeasterly as we go further on. So yeah, it's quite interesting through the first half. January, high pressure is slipping southwards over the country, bringing a lot of dry but also very cold and frosty weather. Up to mid-January now, still looking mostly dry and cold under that area of high pressure. So nothing's happened to break the Atlantic through. So, the cold weather that's established from the earlier easterly is continuing there, really. And that's how it looks as we get to the end of this 6th Christmas update. Won't go any further. That is to the 19th of January. Still pretty cold, really, with low pressure out in the Atlantic, high pressure to our east, winds still coming in from what would be a cold and mostly snow-covered continent. So, with those south-southeasterly winds, that would keep the cold weather going. Let's just go a little bit further on and see what happens. So the low pressure eventually starts breaking through. So by the end of January, it begins to turn milder, wetter and windier yet again. But that is quite a cold, certainly first half of January and even into the second half of the month there. Okay, that's your 6th Christmas update then. So it's another relatively mild Christmas, but turning colder into the New Year type scenario. Is that a trend? Maybe that's a bit of a trend beginning to emerge within the Christmas updates, but we've got more to do. And the 7th Christmas update will be released on Sunday, straight after Sunday's live stream. So that's coming up about 7ish on Sunday evening. Next instalment then. Thank you so to Richard for our amazing Christmas updates gift and for the 6th instalment of Christmas Countdown. That's all for now, and thanks for watching.